Hey guys, I'm GTX and welcome back to another scrap mechanic tutorial. So yeah, today guys, the last two tutorials I did was a miner. You can see a little peek of my tier 3 miner back there. I'm not gonna do the miner tutorial again today, that'll be the next one, so keep an eye out for that. But today guys, I want to show you my little mining setup with the Fant Mod. The Fant Mod is installed. I should just mention that. But yeah, it kind of looks like this. Well, not detail, but wiring at least. I can give you a little peek here. That's what the wiring looks like. Not too hectic. Got some logic over here and everything. Some pistons down there. I just want to show you guys how it works, and then I'll disassemble it and show you guys how everything was connected and everything. And yeah, hope you guys do enjoy. If you do, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell notification. And I also do have a Patreon if you want to support me in that way. But you just being here watching the video is good enough for me. Okay, cool. So this is our little setup here. Let me just put fly off, otherwise the water sounds driving me nuts. So we got an assortment of buttons over here. So the first button, blue, obviously, this is water. If you want to only water, you can press that button, it'll water. Then the second one is planting. If you want to plant stuff, you can press that button and it'll plant. Third one is fertilizer, and then the fourth one is basically turns on the pistons and stuff, so it goes that way. Now the number of plots I have here is 190, and yeah, it's 38 a row and it's 5 rows. You can make this wider, but I did realize going any further than the 38 crop plots, then the pistons, they start to get janky, and the system I use, as you guys can see, there's colors on the side, actually works with the pistons, and yeah, they kind of stop working after that point. But you can make this super wide. You can make this I want to say maybe like 20-30 wide easy, and then you can get it like 500-600 crop plot all at once. So how this works, if I want to do, let's say I want to do watering, I just click the watering button. As you guys can see, this turns on. This is a Fant logic. It's more like a toggle switch. Yeah, I would say toggle switch, but yeah, it's a logic, and everything's underneath here. So if I press the red button now, it's gonna go and it's just gonna water if it needs water. I forgot to reconnect the water pipes. Let me quickly do this. Okay, cool. Okay, let's take that off. Obviously, put the water on, click it, and now it should just only water. I'm not gonna go all the way, I'm just gonna bring it back. But yeah, now if I want to do watering, let's say planting and fertilization, I just turn all of them on, push the button, it's gonna go out, water, fertilize. There's no system for selecting which seeds, I'll show you later on, but you can basically select it by just putting the specific seed you want to plant. Yeah, and as you guys can see, it automatically goes back. It's quite fast, but I put some shock suspensions at the back here that slow it down. And yeah, came all the way back. Why didn't this one reset? Where's my the reset switch was not on it. Okay, never mind. But yeah, we'll get into the logic a little bit later. But yeah, that's basically it. Plants, you can select what, if you have everything planted and you kinda did not have fertilizer, you can just click the fertilizer only, or planting only if you don't want to water straight away. I don't know what the reason would be for that, but yeah. And yeah, like I use all of them obviously for planting like now, but once everything is grown, I just have a bunch of bananas. Once everything is grown, you don't actually have to select any of these unless you want to plant again. then you can, you know, water, fertilize, and plant. When everything is grown, I just hit the red button. It'll go over. It automatically picks up all the plants, and then it puts the seed in the seed box, and it puts the harvest plants in a different box. Let me quickly show you guys that. I'm just gonna put the fly mode on for this. Okay, yeah, so this is basically it. Vacuums that pick up at the back here, they all have the growth sensor on top of it. We'll get into the wiring a bit later. And then obviously there's an exit for the stuff it collects. It'll put the seeds in here, and then it'll put the harvest crops in this box right here with these teleporting nodes I have on the side here. That's planting. Next one over here, this is fertilizing. It's a little bit extra logic for this one because this switch from Fant, it doesn't pick up, it doesn't give a signal through if there is no fertilizer. It only gives a signal through when there is. So that's why we do have this NOR gate over here, just to switch that sensor switch to the opposite, to positive instead of negative, and then yeah, it just works fine. Also have a little sensor here for that. It's on an open gap over here, and as soon as it gets over the plants, it's a closed gap, so the sensor turns on. So if the sensor is on, this one is on, then it'll basically fertilize. And then over here, this row right here, this is our planting row. Pretty simple, just plants. Gets the seeds in from there, it comes out right there. This is the seed one, this is the fertilizer one. I'm using the same chest for both of them. And then yeah, the water is pretty simple as well. Just have the logic here, so when I switch the water on, then it'll water, otherwise it won't. And the water is connected to this little setup here. We got this, what's that called? It's called UCP, the Universal Connection Point. Now you can do a lot of this. You can do chemicals and water and seeds and stuff like that. I could not get the seeds and fertilizer mode to work on this. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I'm just using this for the water. So I have a water setup just close by. It's literally right there, and I have to have it the same color painted. And you also have to have a switch on this receiving end, I have noticed. So yeah, we have a receiver over here, the teleport receiver. Water comes in, goes into the chest, fills it up, and then this allows us to connect it like you would with a normal water chest to the water cannons. So that's all that UCP does, which is pretty cool. Then I just have it on a NOT gate here, or NOR gate, sorry, just with a button, just to keep everything on. So every time I load in the chunk, if I go away and come back, it'll always be on. This is just the out for the fertilizer, out for the seeds, in for the seeds, and in for the fruits and veg, into that. And then I have my piston setup here. It's a piston sensor setup. I used tier 5 obviously, because I needed it to detect color. So we got a bunch of pistons over here. The first one is set up with the logic to start. It's gonna push the first sensor all the way out. It's gonna hit this little mark right there. When the the first sensor picks that up, when the sensor picks it up, it'll extend this piston, and then it goes on like that. The sensor, this piston, the sensor, this piston, and all of them have different color setups. And yeah, that expands all the way 38 crop plots all the way to the end here. Now here at the end I do have a sensor. This sensor resets my whole board up there, my control board you can call it. And yeah, that's all it does basically. As soon as it detects it made it all the way there, sends and signal, gets back, clears those three stuff, turns this one off. So the first person unextends, retracts, and then because all the other pistons aren't aligned with their colors right here, they all start attracting as well. And that is why it kind of like slams when it comes back. I'll send it out quickly for you guys. But I have this little shock just to absorb the impact from the speed when it arrives back. Let me just quickly set up the site. And there we go, guys. I got it set up here. It's just a piston basically. I just went for level 5 because I wanted to shock absorb a lot. This is gonna be end game, so you won't be building this like early on. Okay, it's coming back now. You'll see how much of speed. There you go. And it like kind of bounces a lot. If you don't have that, sometimes it jams into the wall, or it just bounces constantly, keeps bouncing until it eventually stops, and it kind of gets annoying. But yeah, that's all good. Okay, all the bananas and stuff seems to be sprouting. We'll wait for all of them to sprout and then we'll go and collect it quickly. But yeah, everything goes in here. Let's quickly check. 86 bananas. So this should be another 190 bananas added on top of that. So we'll check that in just a sec. So let's just quickly wait for this. I mean, I guess we can pick it up. So when you want to pick up your crops and not plant new ones, you don't have to select anything. You can just hit the red button. It'll extend, pick up everything that it can. And if you had it on planting, you probably need to send it out first to pick up everything, come back, and then you can select for planting. Just because the picking up is at the back, so it won't be able to plant anything in the front here. Go all the way to the end. Boom. Slam back to base. There you go. And yeah, if you wanted to, we can plant something now. We can do like add everything and then send it off, but I'm gonna wait until we get everything and then I'll harvest all of this up, take care of this raid. It's in 2 minutes, and then we'll start dismantling this in the morning. So I'll see you guys in just a bit. There we go, guys. Harvested everything, did the raid. So let's quickly check in here. There we go. 256 stack plus 11, so 267 in total bananas collected. So yeah, it works pretty decent. Like I said, you can basically automate this just and add a day-night switch from Fant Mod or timer one, depends on which one you want to use, and yeah, you can just make this thing auto run back and forth. You might have to do a little bit more logic to get it to self-water, fertilize, and plant. But other than that, it's fully automated. So yeah, let's quickly dive into this. Gonna quickly explain over here, and then I'll show you guys once I take it apart. Okay, guys, and let's quickly go over the logic. So I got my 4 buttons here. That's my main start button, and then I have the 3 different selections. I could have put the 4th one for the collecting one, but I don't think it's necessary. It'll auto detect when it can collect, so whenever it runs over a plant, it can just collect it. So yeah, it looks a little hectic here. You can see little flashy lights there. I'll just show you guys quickly how it's connected. Now these 3 logic gates at the bottom, they're just connected. This one goes to all the water cannons, to well, the water cannon logics over there. Then the second one goes to the planting, and the third one just goes to the logic gates on these ones, guys. So it's not too hectic. I guess let's start over here. So I got the water set up like this. You got your sensor over here. It's this one, the growing sensor. It says growing sensor, but you can detect a bunch of stuff on it. Quickly place it for you guys right here. So you guys can see grow. If I select it, it changed to water, fertilizer, or needs plant. Basically if you want to plant. So yeah, not too hectic. So we got that sensor there, then we just got a normal AND gate logic over here. Let me just actually take it off here all the way. Okay, I took everything off. Okay, nice. So basically at the back, the one that picks up, you're just gonna have it on grown, and the grown's just gonna go to the vacuum pump, and just make sure you change the direction so it sucks it up. And yeah, on the side here we just have that teleporter, the outgoing one, that's sending it basically, it's the same color as both of these. It's because it's going to send the seeds out to the seed box, and then it's going to send the fruits and veg out to the food and veg box over there. So that's pretty simple. Then over here at watering, so we have our sensor. It's going to detect, is there water? No, there isn't. So it's going to send a signal to the AND gate. Now from the AND gate we're going to send the signal to the water cannon, but then it's gonna fire as soon as it detects, even on the way back. So we don't want that. So what do you do? I'm gonna take from this logic over here and just connect it in there. Since this is the AND gate, that logic is not on. Even if this one detects on the way back, that one will be off, so it won't shoot water on the way back and waste the water. So yeah guys, it's simple. Sensor, the grow sensor that's set to water, goes from it to the logic gate. You bring one from that logic gate over here so we can turn it off on the way back, and then from the logic gate to the water cannon. Simple as that. And obviously you also need to connect your water to your water cannon, and that's it. Pretty simple. Now for our next one, this is planting. We're gonna go from our sensor to the logic gate, because we also want to be able to turn it off. Then from the logic gate back to the vacuum pump, and then obviously from the second logic gate over here to that, and that's it. Now it should plant. It's gonna plant everything. I've noticed I had to put in the list over here, I had to put all the seeds in the last one. I did not do all of them, just as long as the last one on the line has the seeds and stuff in it, everything will draw seeds and plant it. As you guys can see, these ones, they don't have it in the filters, but if I don't put it in the filters, it doesn't take the seeds or shoot them. So I just put it on the last one. It works nicely, just one seed of each, and it'll take whatever you put in that box and plant it. Okay, now a little bit more complicated one. This is the fertilizer one, fertilization row. Okay, cool. For this, pretty simple as well. All we have to do now, you're gonna have your two logic gates over here, this grow sensor there, and then we're also gonna have a separate sensor on the side. This can be a tier 1 because the ranges only have to be 3, and we're not gonna use any color. So that sensor is gonna go into the AND gate logic. This logic gate's AND, this gate is a NOR. So that's gonna go into that. Then our growth sensor is going to go into the NOR, because the growth sensor works opposite. If it detects that the plant, there is basically fertilizer needed, then it will be off. And then if it detects there is already fertilizer on the plot, it'll switch on. So we want to switch that around, since we need a signal when there is nothing on the plot, no fertilizer, then we need a signal. But since it stays off if there's nothing on the plot, we're not getting a signal. Hence we're using the NOR over here, because when it receives no input, it'll give up output. Sorry. Okay, that goes in there. Then from the NOR it goes to the AND, because we need the sensor and this to be positive to shoot. And that's why I have the little gap here, because the sensor is negative currently. This will send a positive, so it won't just shoot your fertilizer onto the floor. Only once it gets over the first soil pile over here, then the sensor touches that first little brick over there, and then the sensor will also turn on, and if there is no fertilizer, this one will stay on, and then it'll shoot and plant fertilizer on the plants. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. So from a sensor to an what's it called, a NOR gate to the AND gate to the vacuum pump. Make sure the direction is pointing outwards, and then we just take our basic sensor. You don't need a tier 5, and that needs to go to the AND. And then obviously for the last step, we also want to be able to turn it off from this side, so just chuck that into AND. So whenever this vacuum pump wants to shoot something, there's 3 things that need to be on. This NOR needs to be on, the sensor needs to detect something, and the button needed to be pressed over there so that logic gate can be on. Otherwise it will not shoot fertilizer. This is the easiest way I could find to do that. So yeah, that's it. And then obviously the vacuum one is just simple from the sensor down there. And yeah, that's this whole section basically explained, guys. This little side over here, this one brings in seeds. The filter, there's nothing in the filter, it just needs to be the right color as the one sending out the seeds, that one over there. And then over here, I did put the fertilizer in the filter right here. I can't remember if it was necessary, but I just put it in there since there's no filters on any of these. They are all clear. They don't have any filters, so I just put the filter in there just to make sure it only pulls in fertilizer, but it should, because this one and that one is the same color. And then obviously this one is the outgoing one. It's just putting the stuff in there, the fruits and veg in there, and the seeds in there. Okay, let's just get back down here. So in this one, this is our output for our fertilizer. I also put the filter in here just in case, and then over here as well I put in the filter all the seeds. Now it doesn't get all the seeds, as you guys can see. I'm actually missing the Fant eggplant seed. Fant actually added a whole seed for wok breeding and stuff, but it takes all of the vanilla ones easily in the slots. Now this is the exit from the vacuum pumps over here that suck up the plants. Same color as that one, as this one over here, but this one also have the seeds in here, so it only pulls the seeds in here and not the fruit and veg. And then that one over there, I just have a filter for the fruit and veg. And that's basically it, guys, just to make sure it doesn't accidentally pull seeds in there. And that's that for that. Water I did explain. I have my water set up, comes in here. I had a little filter just in case, then a little bit of a storage, and then obviously this one is connected to all the cannons, water cannons right there. Pretty simple. Now all of these, the inputs and outputs on this side, I have them all on the logic gate. I do believe you only need the inputs, the blue arrow ones, to have a logic gate on it, otherwise it doesn't pull stuff and push them into the chest. But the outgoing one should not need it. I just put it on there just in case. You can do the same as well. And yeah, that's basically it. The piston setup here, the first one triggers the first piston, pushes it, hits the little color sensor, and then it's pretty simple. The first sensor is just connected to the second piston, second one to the third one, and so forth and so on, all the way to the end. So yeah, the sensors, I got my set on 11 because it's 9 blocks apart. I like to give them a little bit of extra space just in case the whole structure moves and it doesn't detect, but it'll still work on 10 and on 9, but I just like to have mine on 11. Then I have the color and the matching color on the side right there as well. So how I like to set this up is I activate the first piston, see how far it pushes the sensor, and then I just mark it on the wall with the color, change the sensor color, then obviously it will detect, push out the next piston, and so on and so forth. So you don't have to count them out or anything until you get to your end where you want to be. Okay. Okay guys, now up here, just had to put this back in. So up here, it gets a little complicated. So we're using this block right here. It's called the flip-flop memory gate. So basically, if it receives a signal, it'll turn on. Then it has to receive another signal to turn it back off. It's just flip-flop. Okay guys, I got a little setup for you guys right here. It's basically just that copied right here and just spread out so you guys can see the wiring a bit easier. Okay, so for the watering, button goes to the flip-flop gate. Flip-flop gate goes to the second logic gate. Then the second logic gate goes to the first one, and then the first logic gate goes to the flip-flop gate. I know it's a little confusing going back and forth like that, but that is so this can flip-flop in a double or triple click or whatever it's called. And yes, and then obviously we need this one connected to all three of these. Now we see our red line coming from our sensor over there. I'm not going to put a sensor on, I just have this button here to replace the sensor just to show you guys. So I'm going to take this button, it's going to go to the top one here, and then this one is going to go to both of these ones. That basically just switches all of this off, and then it goes down to this one for later on down here. But I want to finish this section first for you guys. So if I click the flip-flop now, it turns on. Then obviously you'll start it, it'll move all the way to the back, and once it reaches the back, it's gonna hit the switch like that, and it's gonna reset this. This is what these logic gates allow me to do. So basically, maybe let me move the button for you guys. Just put the button right there. It's gonna be easier so you can actually see me click it and what happens. So that's just gonna go there. Okay, so switch it on for watering, push the red button, it's gonna move out, it's gonna hit the sensor at the back there, and boom, you'll see all of it flickering. It reset this flip-flop gate. And now basically repeat that 3 times. This one to this one to the second one, second to the first to the flip-flop. And yeah, they're literally exactly the same. Yeah, that I got a little confused right there, but yeah, they're basically exactly the same. So now if I maybe just want these two on, you'll see it'll stay on. Push the red button, it moves all the way out, hits the sensor at the back, and then it resets these two. So it doesn't matter what combo I use right there. Once it hits the back of the or the furthest point of your plot and you have a sensor there, it's just gonna reset it. So all of this extra logic right there is basically just to reset that. Okay guys, just added a piston over here as well, just to simulate the piston that we have down here. That's gonna start your planting chain of pistons that's gonna be moving that way. Okay, cool. So wrong button, this one. So for our start button, as you guys can see, it doesn't go to the straight one. This start button goes to this AND gate over here. Then this AND gate goes to the flip-flop gate. Then this flip-flop gate goes to all 3 of these, because these are going to be the ones at the bottom here that everything is connected over there with, and it's going to go to the piston. And then last but not least, we need to connect these 3 buttons to obviously their respective outputs. So watering is going to be the furthest one, and I'm connecting the wrong ones. Sorry guys, you need to take it from the flip-flop gate, not the buttons. There we go. that one to that one, that one to that one, and that one to that one. And that's basically it, guys. So now, if I want to do planting and watering, I can click those as soon as I click the red button. Okay guys, so welcome back. I figured it out. I was being a little bit of a dum-dum. But okay, because you do have this logic going in here and the switch going in here, this is the only one that cannot be an AND gate. Everything else is AND gate. This one needs to be an OR gate. So now when you push it, okay, there's nothing on the piston. The piston should go all the way to the back, and once it reaches the back, it'll hit the sensor and it'll reset everything. Okay, there we go. So now we can fully test this out. Let's say we want to do watering and fertilization, no planting. Hit the button. It's going to turn the watering and fertilization on, not the planting. Piston is going to extend. They're going to keep extending. They're going to water everything, fertilize all the grounds and whatever. Once it reaches the back, it's going to hit that button or the sensor over there, and then it's going to reset everything. So yeah, you can do any combo you want. It'll work. And then reset. You can do just that one. And yeah, it works like this. So hopefully it wasn't too confusing for you guys. It just looks super hectic when it's like this. You can barely see, and you see those flickering lights from the lines crossing each other and stuff, which gets it a little bit more confusing than it needs to be. And just paint these up. These are the respective stuff. That's for watering, planting, and fertilization. Then obviously the start and go button. And you can also use this as normal. You can also stop it from here. It doesn't break the system. Like if you started it and you're like, oh, I forgot my fertilizer or whatever, you can just click this start stop button and it'll come all the way back. It'll might have started planting or fertilizing or whatever, but it'll still come back, which is nice. And then obviously hitting the back button as well. Well, the sensor over there. So just be careful not to walk too close to the sensor, or put it in a spot where you know you're never gonna walk in front of, because or you can put it on a color sensor, because if you accidentally press this, as you guys can see, it'll still start the starter piston and this whole thing would run that way. So yeah, just be careful of that, guys. But other than that, the system is pretty good. Wire looks a little hectic, but it's not too bad. I could have done this little section over here a little better. Could probably switch those two. Which one? This one is the OR, right? So we can actually do that quickly. Let me show you guys. Maybe this will be a little better. These ones goes there, and this one goes there and there, and like that. And that's basically it. It should still work properly. Let's do all three of them. Hit the button, extend the piston, gets to the end, resets. Just do the one, hit the button, goes to the end, resets. That one and that one. Hit the button, goes to the end, resets. Yeah, it's all good. Still works perfectly. Now this logic gate over here, you can take it out. You don't really need that. You can just connect the button to the outside and to that side. But I just put the logic gate in here because otherwise I would have had just that one little hole in the corner right there, and I didn't want to have that not be symmetrical. And yeah, that's it, guys. That extends. I showed you everything I have. The rail tracks and stuff. Let me quickly disconnect this and I'll quickly show you guys how I set up the rails and stuff for this thing. Okay, so here we go, guys. This is it. Let me just turn the stupid watering off. There we go. So basically, yeah, I just got 4 wheels. As you guys can see, they're kind of lining up with the center of the vacuum pumps and the water cannon right here, pretty much in the center of them. I just got 4 bearings, put the wheels, put more bearings, and then I just put like a little guard over here. This is the little section you might want to do with tier 3 metal if you can, because this is gonna stick out from the side. I have the big wall around it just for the recording sake, and I am in admin, so if you're doing this in just a playthrough, you definitely want to put this whole section right here. You want to do that in tier 3 metal. Yeah, it's just wheels. I got one spacing over here. You can make this smaller. You can put the wheels straight onto these. I just had the spacing here. You don't need this space right here. You can put the wheels straight on this. But on this side, unfortunately, you are gonna need these teleporters. 1, 2, 3 of them, and they take a 3x3 square. As you guys can see, I got a nice little square to fill in this little piece right here. And yeah, on these as well, just put bearings, put wheels, and then bearings on the other side, and then you can place another sheet of tier 3 metal right there, so it doesn't get broken too fast. And yeah, that's basically it. The weld point I use, because it has this whole new section over here, it kind of counts all the way to there, and then you got your wheels, and all the way to here, and we got the wheels. So my weld point is usually right here. It's the center vacuum pump, bottom left of it. Just grab it over there. You can figure out the spacing for yourself over here. It's not going to be difficult. I just have this a single block wide and then a single block gap basically where the wheels can run on. And yeah, you just grab it, put it on piston, and boom, that's connected. Now you're gonna have to do a little bit of the tedious rewiring. It's basically just all the 3 at the bottom here. Your watering, planting, and fertilization. There we go. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. Why isn't it automatically going back? Oh, this last piston I did not connect it, so it just goes from here to there. There we go. Okay, yeah. It was just that sensor. I just switch it now on. Just put it on fertilization. As you guys can see, that one is the only one lit up, and then the start one. And yeah, it's going now. It's just that sensor I forgot to reconnect. But yeah, easy as that. It's just those few lines you can draw. Like I said, you can put it on a little in-between logic, if you want to call it that. Just put a logic gate on that, connect all of those, the water, fertilizer, and the planting on 3, well, each their separate one, and then you can just connect those to these 3, and it'll work fine. Let's just quickly check it again. It should work. I just need to. That's fine. Switch. That needs to be a button. Just quickly check. It should go all the way to the back, guys. In one sweet motion. And there we go. Just goes all the way to the back. But yeah, it starts off with that little jerking on that last piston, the number 8 piston I put on there. So if you go a little further than that, then that just becomes impossible. But yeah, this is my little setup. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Hope you learned something. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell notification. Yeah, and you can follow me on social media and support me on Patreon if you really want to. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.